Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the business?
Absolutely. So I'm Amanda Marie. I'm an independent Canadian designer. I've had the brand for 10 years, which kind of sounds crazy to say out loud, but we've had it for a decade. The first 5 years were definitely much different than the last 5 years. So when we first launched, we were made to measure. So much higher price point, a little bit more couture, and we had to meet every single customer for measurements, and everything was fit to your body. But when we had so much interest in the brand and the pieces, I was thinking, okay, I can't really scale too much when you have to meet every single person and fit everything to their body. So after about 5 years of the Made to Measure, in 2019, we launched a ready-to-wear collection, and we took that kind of quality and craftsmanship and great fit ethos from the Made to Measure and put it into a ready-to-wear line. So the last 5 years we've had the standard sizing, and we launched that in 2019. So that's kind of been
10 years.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
When you say that, it's 10 years.
Right? Like, 'cause it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
But then you look at it and you're like, okay, yep, that's been a decade.
So tell me, how did it all begin and what sparks the idea?
I went to design school, and I was very drawn to quality and comfortable fit, mainly because when I was attending networking events and whatnot, I found I was, buying pieces that weren't cheap, but they weren't very comfortable and they didn't last. So I really wanted to hone in on the quality aspect and clothing that was like exciting to wear, that felt really, really good on, that was comfortable and would last, like for years in your closet if taken care of properly. So that was the whole idea behind the Made to Measure, and then I really tried to bring those same values into the ready-to-wear as well.
What inspires you to keep going, even of the tough days?
You probably know as well, as an entrepreneur, there can definitely be tough days. But at the end of the day, I think back to why I started the brand, and then I look at sort of where we've come and the customers I do have that love the product. I just think, we're connecting with people that really value what we're doing. And so I kind of sometimes take a look through the happy emails of customers being like, that, I might not even know them in person, and they'll take the time to reach out to me and say, thank you so much for doing what you're doing, because I feel amazing in your apparel. And I'm like, right, this is why I'm doing this. Yeah. To a lot of people out there, they really do value the collection. They love building their Amanda Marie wardrobes. So on some days when it can be, tough, I'm like, okay, people do love this though. It is resonating. So let's just one step at a time, keep going.
Know them more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always about community at the end. I feel like everyone gets the same answer, but so what keeps you going? It's the feedback on people.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think back to definitely looking at how far we've come to, and it's like, I'm building something great here, and it is valued by our community. Yeah.
Exactly. As a woman business owner, what has your experience been in Canada?
We do a lot of wholesale. Okay. So all of my retail partners are in the US, but a lot of my online shoppers who shop direct with the brand are Canadians. Okay. So that's been great because I've met a lot of them through events, like what we're going to do, and then they get familiar with the brand, they see the quality, and then they become kind of our online shoppers. Interesting to see the American response to the brand versus in Canada it was like, well, we've never heard of you, and in the States they're like, oh, this is new, this is special.
Interesting.
So
when was that?
Right when we launched the ready to wear, so about 5 years ago, so it was pre-COVID. So I launched the ready to wear in New York. We had a fantastic response. Wow. So for our retail partners, I've just reinvested in the American market. But in terms of like direct to consumer, we definitely have a stronger community of Canadians. I've found even in just the past month, more retailers kind of reaching out and connecting that are Canadian because they're looking for Canadian brands like this current economy situation. I think it's kind of been a good thing for Canadians. It's made us more patriotic and kind of come together and wanting to support Canadian. Whereas, a few years ago, before any of this, I think we were more of a like following consumer kind of whatever becomes cool in the States, then we'll try it. Whereas now we've I think kind of realized let's come together and support more Canadian. I think it will. I think this will be a long-term shift that just kind of change that mindset. Yeah,
quality
and supporting Canadian.
Be more meaningful in your buying. Yeah. What does community means to you?
At the end of the day, kind of what we had just touched on as well, one of the reasons I do this is for my community of women, right? Like, I don't even keep every single item that I make from the collection. And when I'm designing, I'm keeping in mind all the women that shop my line, you know, different body types and heights and shapes and sizes. And so it comes back to the community of women that the brand is about. So I think it's important. It's kind of what keeps us going. It's why I do it, you know, for our community. And definitely whenever we're doing events and we get to connect with people in person, it's the most fun for me. Because half the time if you're just in studio or I'm just fulfilling orders, like it can be very just, you know, time consuming and you're not getting one-on-one interaction. Then you do these events and you connect with your community. Yeah, and it's so nice, and it just, it's kind of what keeps you going, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's very interesting. What advice would you give yourself when you started the business?
Oh gosh.
Or to give to someone else?
A lot. I mean, as you would know this as well, I mean, it's not an easy thing to just start a business and be an entrepreneur. So I would say to just kind of keep resiliency in mind and a positive attitude, because it's so easy to kind of get caught up in, you know, the saying, you'll get 100 no's before you get one yes. So I kind of keep that mindset, like even on the days that it can be a little daunting, just there's good days coming, and that resiliency, just kind of like keeping that thick skin, because especially as a consumable product like that, it's not for everybody. Not everybody's gonna love every single thing. And that's something that at the beginning, I think I let like get to me a little bit. I was like, oh no, like these people don't like it. And now I realize that's okay. I have the certain style, I have the certain customer that I'm designing for, and it's not for every single person. So yeah, just kind of that keeping positive resiliency, because there are going to be the days that are tough. And at the beginning, right, like if somebody, I don't like the way it fits or this, I would be, oh my gosh, you know. And now I'm like, no, that's totally fine. I understand if that's not your fit, that's not your style, like that's totally fine. Whereas before I'd be like, oh no.
I know, but you have to get through it.
Yeah,
it's a passage. You get through it.
Oh, 100%. You just you
have to live it.
Yeah.
And
it is, basically. And you can only really do that with the experience, right? And that resiliency.
Exactly. So time will just help.
Yeah.
Is there a moment you'll never forget? Like a milestone, happy one, a messy one?
I guess we'll go with some happy ones, because I think another thing as an entrepreneur is sometimes it's tough to stop and appreciate where you've come, because there's always something next to do. So I have had to make myself mindful of maybe goals that I've met, because I don't celebrate a lot. Like I'll just kind of, okay, what's next? Perfect, we did that, let's go. And then I think back and I'm like, oh yeah, this was a really great thing that I did. So there's a couple of memories, I guess. And one was when we launched in New York, we were featured alongside Max Mara as like one of the brands, like the must-watch brands. And so when I think back, I'm like, I'm an independent designer. That was just me. I don't have this big company behind me, backing me. And so to be featured on an international stage beside a global brand is really cool. Like something that I'll never forget. Cause I'm like, oh wow, that's, it's like a household name. And there I am. So that's something that, especially right out of the gates with the ready-to-wear line, that I'll never forget. And
how do you take care of yourself while running the business?
Definitely, I've gotten back into yoga and just running. Like honestly, taking care of yourself physically, wellness, it really does help. I notice the months, if I kind of like fall off my regime a little bit, I feel the stress more. Like it comes out more, whereas when I'm on top of my regime, it definitely gets to me less, and I can just handle it way better. So I think that just, taking care of like mind and body really, really does help put your best foot forward at work every day. The work-life balance, right? Yeah. Because especially as an entrepreneur, it can be from you wake up till you go to bed. So making sure that you have that like separation to be able to focus on yourself a little bit. at the end of the day, it helps your business.
Yeah,
because then you're showing up better.
What are you most excited about right now?
I would have to say, predominantly working in wholesale, we are working about 6 to 8 months in advance.
Okay.
Sometimes actually almost a year when you include the whole design process. So we just wrapped up our fall winter 2025. So this coming fall winter. So we just wrapped up all of our markets and shows, and it's actually the largest season that I've ever had. So seeing that growth is exciting, even though, you know, the uncertainty with the economy and like what's happening with the American and Canadian market is a little daunting. It's nice to have something to look forward to, where I can see like a considerable amount of growth. So from one season to another, with that we've opened I think 15 new stores, and it's just so we've got a good season on the books coming, which is nice given what's going on right now. It's something to look forward to, and seeing that growth is definitely exciting as a business owner.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Thank you so much.